What's good, y'all? Welcome to Bliggity Bliggity Black with me, Centisha. I am not gonna lie, y'all. Today I woke up, thought it was Thursday, realized it's Wednesday, shed a couple tears, and alas, here we are. But that's just another misadventure for this black girl, which is my perfect segue for the show du jour we're going to talk about today. Insecure. Insecure. A feeling we all are used to. This show is based on Issa Rae's web series, Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl, created by Issa Rae and Larry Wilmore. This show makes me happy on every single level. The way, it chronicles the lives of Issa and Molly, who are two best friends, and their lives as black women. And, the balance of Issa and Molly, it has been such a joy to watch the ebb and flow of their lives, and especially their relationship. Molly is very much a go-getter, a boss bitch, a lawyer, making shit happen, fighting for herself in her law office. But when it comes to her love life, she is terrible at dating. Like Marlo said on Real Housewives about Kenya, Jesus could not pay her to keep a man. Like, Molly needs some work to do when it comes to her love life. And then you have Issa, who, started off really rough, like working with this youth group and trying to make a difference in the community in California, and, being in a predominantly white working environment. It is very much like, sometimes, especially when you're the token, and say Insecure comes up, or a movie, a song, and then everyone's like, what did you think about that, girl? Like, what's your thought? And you're like, no, I don't know, bitch. What are you trying to say? And, it deals with all of the nuance and real shit that black women go through on the daily. I mean, this was the first time in my adult life where I saw something and was like, oh my God, this is me. And the characters, like Issa, Molly, Tiffany, who was played by the great Amanda Seales, and Kelly, who was played by the phenomenal Natasha Rothwell. Like, their little friend group, it's like, that's me, that's my cousin, that's my friends. Like, it was the first time where it was really like authentic life as a black woman. Like, you can have a career and be a boss bitch, and you can also be super anxious and not know what the fuck you want to do with your life. And you can also do a bunch of Molly and see Beyonce at Coachella. Like, we are multifaceted individuals, the black woman, and this show just does an amazing job with how they deal with relationships. I have always been Team Lawrence. Call me crazy. He has evolved so much. Jay Ellis. I mean, this cast is just unreal. They're so fucking talented, and they all have done so much with their characters in the little time that they have been on. And I'm not gonna lie, when I found out this last season, like, that they're doing right now is gonna be the last, I was absolutely gutted. I was so upset because especially season 4, I mean, it's my favorite. Like, it is such a good season of the show. The evolution of all of them has been so amazing to watch. But especially, like, I don't know if it was because the pandemic, being in quarantine, it hit different, but it really, the way that they tackled mental health in the last season, I thought was a really amazing thing. Because in the black community, therapy, mental health, all of that, I mean, it's kind of been like a stigma. It hasn't really been until recently where people are talking about, you know, their anxiety, their depression, and everything in the being a Black person. You know, especially like, I know for me growing up, it was kind of like, oh, well, that's tough life, baby girl. Like, you're traumatized, so is everybody else that's fucking Black. And every other person of color, like, get used to it. And now it's like, okay, like, it's not just that. Like, you are anxious, you are bipolar, you know, and the way that they dealt with postpartum and mental health in this last season, I just thought it was really beautiful and insightful and something we needed to see. You know, like, this show is such like a water cooler show in the Black community because they talk about stuff that sometimes we don't really talk about until it's brought up, and it's like, oh yeah, like, I don't know if I could date a bi guy, or maybe I do have a broken pussy. I mean, broken pussy is probably like it lives in my mind rent free, period. But I say it to myself like at least like once a week. I'm just like, nobody loves you because you got a broken pussy. Like, it's just so funny and insightful and all of the things. Insecure, HBO, they were really able to take all that energy from the web series and put it into this show. And for all the people of color out there, it's like the perfect example of putting yourself out there, making the content that you want to do. And eventually, if it's meant to be, it'll fall into the right hands. And you could be the next Issa Rae, you know? Like, everybody has to start somewhere. And this show is the perfect example of that. So if you haven't watched Insecure, I don't know what you've been doing or what you talk about. Like, honestly, what? Like, lives in my mind all the time. I reference it too much. So there's that. Thank y'all for watching Bliggity Bliggity Black with me, Centisha, and I will see y'all very soon.